Good afternoon, welcome back to TADHack Global 2017. My name's Jason Lay from Oracle here at QT, hosted by QT Foundry, and also sponsored today by muru-D, the Accelerator. So I've got a couple of great guys from Travello app. So introduce yourselves. Hi, Brent.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, man. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Good.
So we don't really have Ryan and Mark today, so
Yeah, no, we
where,
don't.
where are they today?
I think they're with family at the moment, and so they've kind of sent us out as foot soldiers. So yeah, I'm the iOS developer, so I'll look after our Apple app, and so yeah, they've sent me in to explain this to you guys, and I'm in.
Yeah. I'm a backend developer, so
Yeah.
I just work on the backend side of it, and
So you're a slave to the front end, basically.
you're like, you can say so.
Do this. We need this done every 5 seconds. We just annoy the heck out of it.
So thanks for joining us on the couch here today around TADHack. So before we go into too much detail per se, then not everyone on the YouTube channel looking globally will understand who Travello app is. So
Sure,
give us an understanding who you guys are and what's the problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, sure. So we're a social network for travelers. So we currently have an app on the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. So what we're really about is connecting travelers in journey. So we do that through a number of ways. We have you have your profile that you make in the app. So you can see everyone else's profile. We have a feed. So you can see people chatting, and you can then go to their profile and connect with them. And the beauty of it is, say you're going to Bali or something like that, and you can see other people are going to Bali, and you can be like, hey man, let's catch up, let's have a beer, we're in Bali. And that's what we're really about, just connecting travelers. And I think, previously people were just meeting in hostels and stuff like that, and they were connecting verbally. So we've seen a gap and an opportunity to connect people globally on an online platform, and it's working well so far.
So you got a few followers, you got people downloading the app
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. So you must be doing something right.
Yeah, well, we currently have over 100,000 users and are about 180 countries, and it's sort of it's crazy. I guess it sort of speaks for itself that there's definitely a need there in the space, and that kind of everyone's connected, I guess on a human level and on an international level, and I like to think of it as the global village, really.
Yeah. So coming back into muru-D and the Accelerator, so you're alumni, all right? So what did muru-D do for you, and what's your contribution back to the community after that?
Sure. So just to give you a bit of a background, I was the first full-time employee in Travello. So we used to have a team of developers, and we were all sort of part-time, and it was like, okay, we need to take this full-time. It's showing some traction, and the guys called me up, and they're like, we're going to apply for this Accelerator. So we got into it, real exciting, so awesome being at River City Labs, and basically, the first thing I noticed right off the bat was the accountability factor. So we had Aaron Birkby sort of like stepping us through the process, and we used to have these he used to set no-fail goals and have constant chats with us, and just come on guys, get your stuff together. This is how real founders behave and stuff, and so it's sort of like startup school. So it was just great in that, and you grow really quickly. Because it's an Accelerator, they're pushing you hard, and also, the mentorship. We got a bit of funding out of it. We had to give away a bit of our company, which is cool. It was necessary, and that kind of combination of mentorship, contacts, and funding was just a recipe for I'd like to say success, I guess, in well, it has proved to be successful for us. So yeah.
So this is an application development hackathon, so it's quite technical and stuff like that. So in terms of the product and what you need to do in terms of your design, the social aspects are quite important. Right?
Yeah,
So
for
the
sure.
engagement and actually getting people attracted into the platform and engaging, that's important. So what do you think about when you do your design and even some of the information that you capture as part of that process?
I think one of the really important things that every startup or like this kind of apps need to do is like the analytics. So when we decide to do something, we first A/B test it, and then we get the feedback from like 20% of the users, and then we see like, okay, this is improving the engagement in the app, and then from this point, we're gonna, if it's like successful like feature or whatever, we put it live to everyone. And the other thing is like, we do a lot of analysis on the data and then user behaviors, and then try to find the best way like to get users more engaged. This can be like, for example, we have a feed in the in the app. So by personalizing feed and tailor it for each person, we provide them with the things that they would like mostly, and then that would bring more value to the users, and then that creates more engagement. We tried like also like this kind of stuff, like we can reach them with the machine learning or deep learning, and once as much as we get to like add more value and like bring more value like by searching in our data and bring more value for the users and like present them to them like through the app. That would make more engagement, yeah.
So as part of the journey for Travello, it's actually interesting some of the things that you made mention before in terms of creating this as a platform. It's not just about the traveller. There is a bigger ecosystem that you're trying to hit.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, we're first and foremost, we are a business. So we've expanded outside of like serving the traveller, and we're serving businesses as well in terms of connecting businesses with their customers. So we currently have a groups feature in our app, and that groups feature, companies can create their own group, and then they basically, you know, people subscribe and they're into this community and this group, and for example, we've got YHA backpackers, so a backpacker can join that, and then that company can inform them about important details relating to that, advertise them to them, and so we've got a few like B2B stuff, things that we've added for value, and so yeah, we're serving businesses as well. You know, which has been interesting because we started as just, you know, serving like people socially and, you know, stuff like that. So there's all these layers happening now. It's been really fun to try and push the envelope with that sort of stuff.
So in terms of the development side, then businesses aren't necessarily just, okay, let's get onto the site and do some stuff. Some of the more bigger businesses that actually deal in the travel space, they do like to do things more with APIs and integration and having that as part of the service. So I assume that's part of the future as well.
Yeah, definitely. APIs is something definitely we want to get into. We want to give developers that ability to just make cool stuff. And it'd be great for customers integrating that into their existing products. But yeah, at the moment, we've basically got a portal for businesses that they can use to speak to their audiences. So API is very much a part of the future.
So you raise an interesting conversation there, right? Like the businesses talking to their consumers. So is that something that's in there in terms of, do they create an engagement? Is there something that they can actually talk to people out there, like travelers? Is that something that's part of the platform?
This can happen in different ways. Like
Okay.
businesses can come to us and like they can start their own group in the app, and then their customers comes to the group and they join the group. They can have a profile in the app and then talk to their like customers right away during the app, like using the app, and like really instance like a really easy way to connect to your customers. And the other thing we have with the customers, like some of the companies, they already are working with us. If you are like, for example, booking with some certain companies, like booking some tickets, your tickets comes to the app, so you can see your tickets. You don't need to print them anymore. You always have it. You don't lose it. Like this kind of, we are trying, by working with businesses, we are trying to solve these travelers like problems. For example, if you're backpacking, you don't have a printer, and your backpack always like going online, trying to find your ticket, print it, and then go like somewhere else, or like, use your like tour or activities. But right now, you can just access it offline in the app. So that's one of the things that we do with some businesses. The other thing is like businesses can put their deals and then sign up with Travello, and then they put their deals on our portal, and then users can see them. So it's like kind of localizing and connecting local businesses to the customers, so they can get better deal with better price. And all of these are like location based, which makes it really accurate for you, like for the customer. So if you're like in Brisbane, you see the Brisbane deals, and yeah.
So I was having a conversation last night around this whole customer journey type concept. So there was one of the speakers I did speak to before around Brisbane airports and a couple of the airlines and so on like that, in terms of what's happening there. This whole journey is not just within those airports, it's out there into the communities, into the hotels, and all the other experiences based. So it becomes, it's quite interesting that the opportunity for you guys is also being part of that holistic customer experience when they do land on someone's shores, to have all that information and make it really attractive. So pulling in Australian tourism and all those kind of organisations to actually have everything all in one place, all at someone's fingertips, to say, okay, this is the best time that I've had there.
Yeah.
And everyone knows or benefits from that.
Definitely.
So in terms of actually one of the things that sort of also talked about is the whole social experiment. You've got lots of different people across the whole world.
Yep.
Lots of different countries, as you sort of mentioned. So how many did you mention before?
180, I think, around there. Yeah.
So that's a fair number.
Yeah.
And just even being able to have a platform where you can communicate and still connect after you left that one place.
Yeah.
That's probably as also important.
Sure. Yeah, no, definitely. So basically, through our App Store portal, we have our app, the app descriptions, I guess, localized in I think like 10 different languages. So that gives that really sells it well to a few different demographics. At the moment, the app, where we are in the scaling process, the app's just in English, right? So that's working for us okay at this point. It seems to be some sort of universal language. I think most people have it as their second language if they're from a non-English speaking country, and it's working okay at this point. But it definitely, that's on our cards in terms of scaling, like adding more languages. Kind of like Instagram and Twitter. You push the translate button and it translates it. So it's awesome to see that people are doing with our product at the moment, and still really communicating. It amazes me that so many people know English. I don't know what really else to say. Yeah.
So in terms of one of the things we sort of talked about offline is part of that development process, right?
Yeah.
So you got a lot of things and a lot of tech. I'm sure Ryan and Mark push you guys to do stuff.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
they're
really hard.
Nazis. they are Nazis.
And they want it now, and we all want it yesterday.
Yeah.
And coming from a dev background in corporate, then the timeframes don't necessarily, they'll be hard, but they're not necessarily as hard as dev in startups. So, how do you work under that pressure? How does that work in terms of getting that dev done, getting the right quality through, and making sure, because it is the product that you see at the end of the day, it's not all the dev processes.
Yeah.
So in terms of continuous integration and infrastructure stuff, then how much of your investment is actually in probably those kind of tools as well?
Well, right now we've got the continuous integration going, which is interesting in mobile because with Apple stuff, you gotta wait. I think it used to be like 6 days or something for your app to reach the store, or but now it's like a day, which really makes that process easier. So we're pushing that to test flight. If you're an Apple person, doing that continuous integration. We're running your usual written tests in the app, and that sort of, that is stuff is very important. But at the end of the day, we're trying to move as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So we really just look at the expectation. Is this a product for a client, or is this just one of our things that we're pushing out? And I guess like we have to move faster or slower depending on that, and kind of weigh up the opportunity costs of skimping out on a bit of testing. And that was really so we just try and us devs, we try and meet that deadline for the business side of the team, so they can actually get the product out on time and meet that expectation. So yeah, it really depends on every situation. We sort of weigh up the opportunity costs and like how much stuff needs to get done and sort of that. So yeah. There's a few considerations.
Yeah. So to date, from everything that I've seen and the few conversations I've had with Ryan and Mark over the year or so, especially just we're meeting them over at Myriad Live this year, it's great to see you guys actually do so well. It's great that you've got the app out there. It's also really good to see the kind of direction that it can go. There's a lot of really good opportunities for you guys there. So I appreciate that you've been able to join us on the couch here, and probably next time catch up for a beer with Ryan and Mark.
Yeah, for sure.
So
let us know.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Up and